They have surrounded us, saying anybody that comes from anywhere to come and rescue us or do anything by force, they're going to take our lives.
Kidnap-for-ransom in Nigeria has no geographical, ethnic, or religious boundaries, as it has become a major security challenge facing the country in recent times. This is unlike the past years, when abductions were carried out mainly by Niger Delta militants, as part of their agitation against the neglect of the region. The victims then used to be expatriates working with oil exploration companies. But over the years, several violent crimes such as militancy, insurgency, and banditry, including kidnapping, have increasingly become a day-to-day activity.
The exact number of people killed as a result of banditry in the north is unknown, as bandits become more daring in the way the attacks are carried out. Katsina State is one of the most affected states in the northeast Nigeria by the problem of insecurity. Many lives have been lost and property worth millions of naira destroyed.
In the north central and northwestern parts of the country, bandits routinely abduct large groups of persons, including students, for ransom. In the northeast, Boko Haram insurgents have kidnapped thousands of people as they fight to establish a rule under their brand of Islam in the country.
The group had been gradually radicalizing since its founding in 2002, but under Shekau, it reached another level.
In the southern part of Nigeria, kidnappings have become rampant and are perpetrated by people popularly called unknown gunmen. Premium Times, in a 3-month-long investigation, went on a fact-finding mission to speak to survivors of abduction, their families and communities on their experiences and how they are coping with the aftermath of the trauma. According to Premium Times' count of kidnapping in the media, an estimated 793 persons were kidnapped in the North Central between January and May 2021.
I was coming back from the town. Around 5 minutes to 9, I was here in Peggy. I started hearing gunshots before me. Everywhere, gunshots.
Edwin Ebiekwe is a survivor of the criminal gang of kidnappers and resides in Peggy Kuje area of Abuja. He said his recent abduction was not the first. He blames the attack on poor road network and inadequate power supply in the area.
Yes, that's number 1 bullet. Okay. See the next bullet. Yeah, that's it. He entered through there, and you can see what he did when he was coming out. He targeted my heart, but I did not, nothing touched me, to show you how God really loved me. Asked me where my handset. I said inside the vehicle. They went and took it, and they held me and said I should move. I went into the bush with them, 2 of them, while others they kidnapped, and their members were already inside the bush. I entered the bush. While I was going, because I had bad legs, I fell down. They started beating me with the stick they had. They were all with drugs. By the time I fell the second time, they realized I was not joking. They asked me what happened. I explained to them. But I asked them to give me their stick, which they gave me to help me walk. And as I was using that, they saw I was delaying their time. They started speaking Fulani again. It was truly, they were all Fulani. Because I understand Fulani, but I don't speak. So after that, they continued with the others, and that one gave me back my car key and asked me to go. So they collected everything on me and let me to go. And up to now, I've not been able to do about it.
Umar Chiroma is a Fulani herder residing in Azufa town, Lafia local government area, the capital of Nasarawa state. He is also a two-time victim and survivor of the dreadful gang of armed kidnappers. He escaped his first abduction in December 2020, and in April 2021, he was revisited by the same gang at his home, and they shot his legs. According to the State Commissioner of Police, there is no place for the kidnappers to hide.
Everywhere. So because of that, we have fumigated completely the criminal elements, particularly the bandits. No place for them to hide in Nasarawa State.
There are already common presumption that rogue Fulani herdsmen are behind every reported case of kidnapping in Nigeria. However, our investigation reveals another pattern involving people from other ethnic extractions.
A younger brother to my Ayamura who was kidnapped on the 2nd April 2019. Up to today, we've not seen him, we've not had any information from his kidnappers, and ransom has been paid, about 3.4 million naira has been paid. Because of his information about his kidnap, his mother died at the cost of not seeing her son. So up to now we are still worried to know whether he's still alive. The person we send the money to has not been arrested, but the owner of the account has been arrested. And he is claiming that the account is his own, but the person that used the account is not him. So up to now he's in the police custody. The name in the account signifies that they are these people from Benue State.
In the South-South, while there are no official records of the frequency of the kidnap incidents and the number of those kidnapped, there appears to be a pause in the kidnap activities. However, the number of kidnap incidents in the region since 2018 is still a major source of concern. According to media reports, 341 persons were kidnapped in the region between 2018 and May 2021. Struggling unsuccessfully to hold back the tears, Catherine Ukpekpi, the wife of the leader of the Nigerian Labour Congress in Cross River State, Ben Ukpekpi, in April, narrated how her husband, who was kidnapped 4 weeks earlier, was facing the same ordeal the second time in 16 months.
It was on the 17th of December 2019. We were just there in the house. He just walked out, returning. They captured him, took him away. So I was thinking my husband was already on bed. So went to the room to meet my husband. I saw the bed empty. So I said, no, it's not normal. So I came back, I told my children in the house, let us go and start looking for your daddy. Daddy is not in the room. Until a few minutes later, they just brought the surpass, the lenses, and a very big stick and came and gave to us. That was when we knew that he was kidnapped. They didn't call until 2 days later. That was 17, they did not call till 19. When they called, they demanded for 30 million naira. Labour took care of everything until we paid the ransom. So as they brought him from the creek, as if they said, pass here and go, two among them held him again and said, we should start another negotiation. As God could make it, my husband said, Sunday morning, all of them ran and left him. He loosened himself and ran. So that was how.
That was the first time. That was the first time.
19.
So, so this second time again, how did this happen?
There was a boy. At the end, they said that boy had been monitoring, even followed to church. They said the chair that my husband sits in the church, the boy went and sat there. Till around 7 something, my daughter came and told me that this boy and the other boy are still parading around our street deal. As we just went outside, see them, we're gone. The boy just brought a car with 3 boys and a girl. They just shot gun. Bah! That was how they just jabbed my husband and left. 2 days later, that was 21st. Then they opened the communication on the 23rd. He said I should give 150 million. I asked them 150,000, I'll be 150 million. He said 150 million, Madam, 150 million. We collect your husband. Say make they give us money. We didn't carry our husband for anything. I carry our husband, say, may they bring money, may they give us money now, NLC chairman. We're just frustrated. My children are frustrated. My husband didn't deserve this, but he's a very good man.
The Chief Press Secretary disclosed some measures to tackle insecurity in the state.
We set up a security outfit called Operation Akpaku. If you went around town, you notice them, you can't miss them. They are strategically located across the metropolis and supported by armed policemen, navy personnel, and army. And they recorded a lot of successes. So with the coming of Akpaku, the thing had been brought to bearable minimum. We passed a law that allowed for setting up of neighborhood watches, and the essence of neighborhood watches is to monitor the neighborhoods and provide intelligence to the central command, which is Operation Akpaku.
Exactly a month before Mr. Ukpekpi was kidnapped, in Ibadan, some 750 kilometers away in the southwest, Ayodeji Odetunde, a final year student at the University of Ibadan, was kidnapped at his father's poultry farm. His brother spoke with us because Ayodeji was receiving treatment to recover from the trauma.
I had two younger brothers on the farm that day. Odetunde Ayodeji, the one that was kidnapped, and Odetunde Ukpekpi, he was not kidnapped, fortunately. When Odetunde Ukpekpi saw them, he ran under the cage, and he was there till 7 p.m. that I returned to the farm. That was how we got the information. Because of our plea and everything, they decided to reduce the money to 50 million naira. Now, throughout all this period, it was really tough for the family, and we were all together. And fortunately, my mom understands a little bit of Hausa, so she would just, I don't know, just put it here and there with the pidgin. So that was how we were communicating with them. And 12 million naira, we couldn't afford it, but we had to borrow the money. And along the road, that was when they received the ransom. So there were 6 of them truly. 4 of them were armed. And so what they were telling my parents was, they should not be angry. The federal government has not taken care of them. And so that's why they have been forced to make money through this means. In fact, what my parents were telling me, the police had actually started tracking them. But what I felt was the fear is, the police were not willing to face them one-on-one. The life was at stake. Because these people are coming with heavily sophisticated weapons. In fact, when my brother got back, he was telling me their leader was telling me he has about 9 guns, which he just cleared. He bought it for 4 million naira. The police, they advised us that we should be in talks with them. We should negotiate with them. We should negotiate for the cheapest possible amount to secure his release.
Also in Oyo State, one of Ayo Adeoye's abductors was dressed in a soldier's uniform. Like in Ayodeji's incident, they also apologized for the kidnapping.
I asked him some questions that, why do you kidnap us? Why do you know me from anywhere? You're asking for money. You don't say that this and that. Sorry that you kidnap you, this and that. I'm not sorry.
He spoke English?
Pidgin English. He said that the one that led them, all that cannot speak, is only one that can speak Yoruba, but not that French, but she can speak, understand Yoruba very well. He can speak Yoruba very well. That one look like Fulani.
No, he speaks Yoruba.
Frankly. But you know from the tonation that it's not Yoruba. Other one, there's one the youngest among them dressed like Fulani men. The way they dress, they put it, their cap, their this and that one. But the other one, they wore the jeans and the black top. Aside from the one that wore the camo complete. That one is their leader. He was the one that interacted with me.
Like how cool?
He said that he came from Safara. He said that. I said that where did you get the ammunition? He said that he got the ammunition from Mali some from Ghana, some from Libya. They were attacking me that I'm a police officer and that we are going to kill you. That you know that you're a police officer. I said that I'm not a police officer. Maybe their target was to attack a police officer.
Although the ransom was paid to secure the release of the chairman Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Oyo State Chapter, Olujide Okpadijo, and other officials, they are, however, bearing the aftermath of the trauma.
The ransom was raised by family and friends, and at this time, talking with you, we are still in debt. Government has replied, government don't pay the ransom.
The pregnant woman, so what was the...
She eventually lost the pregnancy, not in the course of that, but because of that stress when we left the place, she lost the pregnancy.
Security officials in Southwest spoke on how they are fighting increased kidnappings in the region.
Armed robbery incidents have drastically reduced because they found the act of kidnapping even more rewarding. Because in a matter of 3-4 days, you are a millionaire because you're asking for millions. We have been able to manage the crisis, majorly because we are very, very proactive. We employed all our tools, the strength of the command, as well as collaborate with local security.
In Ondo State here, we've had some problems like that, but we've been able to nip them each time they come because of the proximity of Ondo State with some other states that are crime-prone, kind of. In Ondo State here, they don't have so much leverage to walk around and perpetrate that because the police and the people are working hand in hand. It takes the people to police themselves, and it takes a good policing architecture to know that policing should be the work of the people, not just those in uniform.
So our own must be different. Without paying ransom, it's possible for victims to regain freedom, and they said it's possible. So we go underground and put us together, contact individuals and hold meeting in the middle of night and agree that on a principle that something will be done. So we asked for the victims' family, their names, their everything. So those are the things, instruments using to link up with them. So, and eventually they released them voluntarily. And I want to advise the security operatives in Nigeria that to gain respect from Nigerians, we must be honest and straightforward.
In Edo State, there are allegations that security officials collaborate with kidnappers, and sometimes the security officials perpetrate the act without prosecution.
In fact, that one night I spent outside my house was like 3 years as we are in bondage. Because they will come, they will hit me, to the extent that they started speaking the local language with me.
So the two guys who were initially caught, have those ones been released?
Those ones were army officers. They took them, when we went to make statement, the brigade officer, the 4th Mechanized Brigade, they came and said they needed to court-martial them before they would deliver them to civilian courts.
The army officers, where are they assigned to?
One was in Jos, one was in Nasarawa.
And they came here to do that?
Yes, they said during their confession, they confessed that it was a lawyer. So it was him who we called them to say there is somebody Rosie to kidnap. So they will come. Later, we were told that they were released. And during my Thanksgiving, Aloye was there with me.
The guy who was arrested?
Yes, Aloye joined me to do Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yes.
He was in church?
He was in church. Policeman asked him, how did you feel? He said he did not feel anything.
I carried those 2 boys where they soldier. We follow them, go reach their office. When we reach there, their guy, he quickly recognized them. He called one of them, the one from Funka, say, Mr. Collins Ahmed, you know you are my student. The boy say, yes, sir. Say, you are a military police. He say, yes, sir. He called one of them because they were 3. He is the one who saved you before for your kidnapping before. And you go and commit another one again. And the hear rumor say they don't escape. When I call the man, and he go say na lie. He reach a time, you know, they pick my call again.
He was trying to ask, what if policemen stopped them and they assured him that he should just describe the car, right? After describing the car he was using, they assured him that no police will stop that vehicle. And really, his own account, no police stopped that vehicle.
Jesus Christ.
It was just like every time when they just see that car, they just, he said a few times the policemen will just walk out of the road. Communities, they've been conquered by these people. Policemen know that place, you understand? But the account is that they are scared of moving in. They say, if they go enter, they go keep them, their family, now they'll throw away them from barracks. They have this trust issue with the government.
While some communities have been conquered by the kidnappers, others set up local vigilante groups to ward off criminals.
The state government is encouraging the local government to make sure that they check the menace. But the federal government, you know, the state government has no control over police. The state government has no control over soldiers. The state government is only there on its own. But the governor remains the chief security officer without men. So if not because of the vigilante, it would have been worse. The kidnapping that have happened. It is now that the road is safe because the vigilante and the police and all the security efforts have been doing well.
You know one thing, vigilante personnel, they are volunteers who are artisans. They feed on their daily wages. So by the time you make use of them, at the end of the day, nothing for them to go home with. It's like you are setting them on a very wrong errand. So that has been the real challenges we're having. Low participation of vigilante when funds are not forthcoming, when stipends are not forthcoming. But ordinarily, they are ready to do the job, but they need to be encouraged too. But at least we're not going to leave the community to hoodlums to take over. And help God helping us, and with prayers and good wishes from people, at least the tide of criminality is go down in our communities.
As kidnap-for-ransom remains one of the biggest security threats in the country, Nigerians seek immediate solution to end the menace and long to live freely without threat to their existence.